to show you what's been admitted as People's 306. Is that photograph in front of you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you recognize what's in this photograph?
Yes, sir.
And tell me what this is, please.
That's the scene where we responded to.
Okay. And is that photograph fairly accurately depict what that building was on the evening or the night of December the 3rd, 2021?
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, to me, you gotta think I'm coming in at 1 a.m. Dark time. It was a warehouse.
Okay.
That's what I remember there.
And here's 307. Is this the same building, just different view?
Yeah, that looks like the door I walked in. See how it's like a smaller door?
To the left of the picture here?
Yeah, to the left, right there. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I recall walking into a door similar to that.
Okay. And tell us again what you encountered when you went in that door.
So I came in, and then I went and left. And when I came in, I remember I had my team members here, which our team members, they're very, distinctive. We all wear black, and you have your SRT patch on, and you have your, Kevlar helmet on. We're very distinct. And then you have other officers, like patrol or, unmarked officers. So I knew who I was going to rendezvous with my team.
Okay, so you have one standard uniform, SRT guys.
Correct.
Okay, and you mentioned earlier individuals with jeans and vests that say police or...
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you walked in at that point, could you give us an idea of how many law enforcement personnel you saw?
There was a lot.
Okay. A lot is in more than 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
More than 20?
Safe to say there was, I would say, 20, if not more.
Okay. And this building here, depicted in People's Exhibit 307, there's multiple floors?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. So when you walked in, you mentioned you rendezvous with your team.
Yes,
Tell us
sir.
what happens next.
So we moved, I met up with my sergeant, and they told us that what we're going to do, we're going to start moving through this building. We're going to be looking for these fugitives. So SRT will clear, the first level, second level, third level, and move on up. So once we got in there, I remember coming in. There was a hallway to the right, there was a hallway to the left, and then it kind of went like this, and there was 2 bathrooms on the side here.
Okay. So did Detroit police have one specific assignment then?
Detroit police?
The SRT, yes.
Yes, at that time, correct.
Okay. So tell us what happened going through this initial assignment.
So we were looking for 2 fugitives. We started on the first level, and we started breaking down doors.
Okay. Let me pause you right there. Breaching or breaking down doors. Tell us, please, what that entails.
So you're using that ram that I kind of explained, right? It's usually one of the bigger guys on the team. It's a specific form. It's the way you swing back, and you're using a ram specifically to bypass the lock on a door. So you're pushing it in with the force.
Okay. Did you use this tool on one door or multiple doors on the first floor?
I would call us using it on multiple. I would say not more than 3, but I would say at least 2 to 3.
Okay. And that's on the first floor. What about on the second or third floors?
So I remember before we even got there, we had K9 down there too, which was with us.
K9 is in police dogs?
Correct.
Okay.
From there, somebody notified our team that 2 fugitives may be possibly on the second floor, and they never came down. So we went upstairs. When we got upstairs, there was another SWAT team. It wasn't. I'm not sure what SWAT team it was. It could have been a federal SWAT team.
It wasn't Detroit, though.
No, it was not Detroit.
Okay.
So we got up there. They told us that there was locked doors, but they cleared the open doors at that time. So sooner or later, our team got a hold of a ring, full of keys, and I'm talking it was a ring, 100 keys. And there you go. Well, these are the keys to this building. Use it, so we stop breaking down our doors. So we started unlocking doors in the second story and clearing it out.
Okay.
And,
that's on the second floor?
Correct.
Okay, but that's after doors were already breached on the first floor?
Correct.
Okay. This is Exhibit 309. Just to confirm, this is the same building, 1111 Belleville in Detroit, just from a different view?
Correct. Yes,
Okay, correct. Okay, thank you. Now, after you obtained, or your team obtained that ring of keys on the second floor, did you obtain information that the wanted fugitives could be somewhere in the building?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and do you recall where that was?
So we were notified, at least I was notified, that the fugitives may be downstairs in a particular room. So our team went back downstairs to the particular room, and we lined up. And
Okay, particular room, was it Suite 130?
I would say it's safe to say.
Okay, so that would be on the first floor. Prior to that information being obtained by your team, That door was not breached, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, were doors around that suite breached?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that a loud process or a quiet one?
It's going to be loud.
Okay. And that's because you described the 35-pound RAM and what it's used for?
Yeah, you're breaking down. Yeah, you're slamming a door.
Now, on this particular evening, December 3rd, 2021, well, first of all, let me ask you, do you recall the approximate time that you entered Suite 130 at this location?
I don't know the exact. It was late. I know it was late. I know we were clearing probably for at least 40 minutes before we got there.
Okay, and that's your particular team clearing for 40 minutes?
Yes, sir. I'm
Okay.
saying me specifically with my team.
Okay, thank you. Were you equipped with body-worn camera?
Yes, sir.
That incident? Okay. And if we had a date and time stamp from that body-worn camera, would that tell us specifically when it occurred?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to show you what's been admitted as People's 304. This is a body-worn camera from that week. Just to confirm here, we have a date of December 4th, 2021, 1:34 a.m. And your name is on the bottom of this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you recognize this as being your body-worn camera footage?
Yes, sir.
Turn around. On your stomach. On your fucking stomach. You sit down. Stay. Hold still. Wait. Ma'am, don't move. I got her hands. Do not move. So you're told to, okay? Do you have any weapons?
Wait. Is she cuffed over there?
Good.
All right.
Just go ahead.
On the bed and hook her. Hey, come on. I'm 14. Secondary. Get on top of the glass. Look at him.
This is still an arrest. Out. Man, we have double checks and weapons. So we're not. This is still an act. We got them. They gotta get. Listen, everybody, do me not asking you.
Sir, I'm going to stop right there. What was the purpose in looking in that specific area?
So SRT will clear out, make sure there's no weapons, or if there is weapons, we'd like it to be known before like detectives or patrol would come in.
So SRT's responsibility would be, in this situation, would be to find and make secure the fugitives, but not to search the location?
Correct.
Okay.
I can't do this. Like, do switch. These are Law&Crime.
Here, bro. No, never mind. Hey, Woody. There you go.
Yeah, so put it on. Just step on the back, push it down.
Put your hands together like your brand. Hands back together like your brand. Double lock those. Not in your pocket.
No, I can't see it. That's why.
You search her.
Yes. Now, here.
The search of the male fugitive's person, that's for weapons. This is where any found.
Not that I can recall now.
See this? It's good going. Yeah. You being out there looking at it? Yeah. Come on, man. What is it? 2806? 2806 call. No, something will come out. Hey, with us? Yeah. Come with us. Where you going? Come on, sir. Nice. You good? Good.
Let me just pause it for a second. At 1:42, 22 seconds. This is the hallway right outside of the suite where they were found in that location?
Yes, sir.
Okay, does this give an idea of the number of law enforcement personnel outside of that suite at that time?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Nice
Thank you. I have nothing further, Judge.
Cross.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Your role with Detroit Special Response Team, one of the things that you do is fugitive apprehension.
Yes, ma'am.
Fugitive apprehension is typically when there's a person who is not coming in to address allegations or charges against them, correct?
I would say that's
Okay.
correct.
Usually, fugitive apprehension is you get involved when it, and correct me if I'm wrong,
Okay.
if it becomes clear that that person is not going to come in on their own.
I'm just going to object to the form of the question, Judge. He's testified that he gets notified of when to report to base. He's given an assignment, does the assignment.
Yeah, are you the one who decides that?
No, ma'am.
In fact, you receive information from your supervisors,
Yes, ma'am.
and you have no knowledge of the truth to the information that you receive. Truth or inaccuracy, either way.
And I believe my supervisor's not to lie to me, so I'm listening to their order.
So you get a phone call, and you go to the station.
Yes, ma'am.
You testified that there were, I think you said, tons of officers at 1111 Bellevue on December 4th of 2021.
Yes, sir. Yep. December 4th. Yes, ma'am.
You knew that there was a shooting at Oxford High School on November 30th of 2021.
Yes, ma'am.
You had seen media coverage about it.
Yes, ma'am.
You were aware of it.
I believe so, yes.
Were you also aware that James and Jennifer Crumbley had been charged in connection with the shooting on November 30th?
I can't say I remember or not.
Okay. You don't specifically recall seeing that they were charged?
Is that a no?
No.
Thank you, Your Honor. Exhibit 306 was a photo of the exterior of 1111 Bellevue. Your testimony was that you remembered it as a warehouse.
Yes, ma'am.
You learned that it was actually a building that had multiple businesses in it, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You knew who you were looking for in 1111 Bellevue that night?
Yes, ma'am.
You had been given photographs,
I believe so.
descriptions.
I believe so.
You knew that they were the parents of the Oxford High School shooter?
Yes, ma'am.
And you received that information from your supervisors or from the other officers when you arrived on scene?
Ma'am, I would say it's safe to say our supervisors.
Okay. Because the reason I asked that is because you testified that when you pulled up onto Bellevue, you didn't know what you were there for. So I wanted to clarify that before you entered 1111 Bellevue, you were given information about why you were entering.
I knew I was going for a fugitive apprehension.
And who it
then-
was.
No, at the time I made entry, we found out pretty much who it was, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Entry into the building?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You testified that you received information while you were inside of Bellevue that the individuals may be on the second floor and may not have come down. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes, ma'am.
That was not true, correct?
Yes. Yes.
You learned that was not true.
Yes.
The video from your body-worn camera, which starts at 1:34 a.m. and 20 seconds on the timestamp, or it looks like 18 seconds on the timestamp, it's quiet when your video starts, correct?
Correct.
You can hear
Yes.
like a little bit of your movement with your equipment and stuff, but otherwise you don't hear yelling, you don't hear any other sounds, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You would agree with that?
Yes, ma'am.
You recall when you entered the unit, obviously it was dark.
That's it. Yeah, didn't leave it.
You don't recall seeing police lights in the windows of the room, if you recall?
Yeah, ma'am, I wasn't paying attention there, but
You were looking at the people that were on the bed, right?
yes.
In the middle of the room.
Yes, ma'am.
In fact, when you entered the unit, when you and your team entered the unit, James and Jennifer Crumbley were laying on a mattress in the middle of the room, which we saw.
Yes.
James was laying on his side, if you recall. If you recall.
I mean, it appears to be in the video.
They weren't covered with boxes or anything like that, correct?
No.
There was I think Jennifer Crumbley had a blanket on, otherwise James was completely uncovered.
It's safe to say.
He slowly rolled over as you all were giving him commands, correct?
It looks like that. I think I was paying more attention to Jennifer.
Okay.
So.
You don't recall him doing anything that would cause you all to be concerned. He didn't jump up, he didn't start to run, he didn't become combative. None of that happened from what you recall.
I would say he did none of that, but as far as our team goes, we're trying to take every caution as it is. We treat every person the same. We come up high, and then their reaction is how we go from.
And safe to say, when SRT gets involved, it's typically, and you talked about high risk, dangerous, so you're going into these scenarios already at a heightened level of concern or security or awareness. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
You don't walk into the situation without all of your uniform on and your equipment and everything else thinking, oh, this is no big deal.
No, we don't do that.
Because when your unit gets involved, typically it gets involved in situations that are serious.
Correct.
And you guys are given information about situations that are serious.
Correct.
You guys meaning your unit.
Yes, ma'am.
You can hear yelling, if you recall. You hear yelling on the video, and if you know, you later learn that was James Crumbley.
Okay.
He wasn't yelling at officers.
Okay. Yes,
You-
ma'am. No,
you
no,
recall
he
that?
didn't- Yeah, he didn't seem to be yelling at us.
Okay. He was just making sounds. It sounded almost, and if you know, if you agree, it sounded almost that he was in pain.
Safe to say.
And again, the mattress was in the middle of the room. James and Jennifer Crumbley were on it.
Yes, ma'am.
They weren't hiding in a corner.
No, ma'am.
They weren't hiding behind any of the raised countertops that were in there.
Nope.
They weren't hiding behind any of the paintings that were in there. They weren't covering themselves with blankets.
No, ma'am.
If you recall, your unit received information that James and Jennifer Crumbley may have a weapon with them.
Yeah, so, ma'am, I can't. I don't recall. We just treat every person that we're going after as if there possibly is a weapon.
Now, you all searched that unit and you did not find any weapons.
No, ma'am.
And you searched both James and Jennifer Crumbley and there was nothing found on them either.
Somebody did. I didn't. But somebody did.
Somebody searched them.
Correct.
Okay. And we talked about this a little bit at the beginning. It's not your job to verify whether or not the information that you receive is accurate, correct?
Correct.
Your job is to get the call, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You go to the base,
Correct.
you get your equipment on, you load into whatever vehicle you're taking, and you go to the scene that you've been called to.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when the investigations are being done by your own department, you tend to have a little more information at the beginning. Is that fair?
Me, myself.
Your unit.
So, yes, ma'am. I would say normally during times that we get called out, it starts high and then it comes to us. If that makes sense.
High in the rankings.
Yes, ma'am.
So it would go to your supervisor or their supervisor and it gets filtered down to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you recall, at around 6 minutes and 40 seconds on the video, I don't remember what the timestamp was, you can hear James Crumbley say we were leaving at 7 in the morning. Do you remember hearing that in the video?
I'm going to check to that, Judge. There's been any testimony of that, nor has there been any indication that that happened.
It's on the video, Your Honor.
Well, then I think the video should speak for itself for the jury to make that
Yeah, ladies
determination.
and gentlemen, you can rely on what you see in the evidence and on the video, all right?
Do you recall hearing that on the video?
Ma'am, we can run it back. But,
Okay.
no.
I can put it there. It's at 6:24.
This is 3 or 5, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. I don't know if that audio is working. don't know. Can you hear it from this?
Yeah. So this is the second time I've watched the video. So yeah, I can.
Again, this witness can't interpret what he thinks somebody else may have heard. His camera, obviously, is 3 people away from where James Crumbley's in the video. The video would speak for itself.
It does, she asked if he heard it.
And he asked me to play the video back, Your Honor.
Now, he said, if you want to play it back, go ahead. I mean,
Well, she
in
didn't.
response to a question of, did you hear that?
Okay, so did you hear it?
Just
Thank you. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Redirect.
Sir, did you learn that they had active arrest warrants at the time you arrived on scene?
I don't recall. I
In
would
order
say
for a fugitive arrest to occur, you need
a
active
warrant.
arrest warrants.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And why would you be quiet right before you entered suite 130?
So that's a form of a tactic. So we're trying to do. If you can see, we use keys, correct?
Yes.
You can have 2 options. We could ram the door, we could throw a flashbang in and cause diversionary, or you can come in and be quiet and be a shock effect that way. So our supervisors made the decision to use the keys, unlock it, and use it as a surprise effect. That was
So everyone being quiet in the hallway, that was intentional as a tactic before you entered this particular suite.
yes.
Now the using the RAM, that wasn't a quiet tactic, was it?
No.
Okay, so the noise level that would have been depicted before those doors were breached right around this suite here would have been much different?
Yes.
Thank you, nothing further.
Briefly, Your Honor. You have no knowledge of your own whether or not James Crumbley heard anything that was going on outside of that suite, correct?
No.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right,